I think one of the hottest topics that we are seeing at the moment is this topic of generative AI. And I think this is really capturing a lot of attention around the world. And a lot of people really saying that this is really an inflection point. It's a little bit like the steam engine and electricity, that it's going to be the next big general purpose technology that we're facing. And I think this has really got a huge impact for all of us in general. I mean, I'm recently testing a GPT-based news service, which claims to bring unbiased news from around the world. I'm not convinced at the moment, and I see that some of the image platforms are actually offering the ability to create original photographs based on the desired output. So I think that's a very exciting area, and obviously in telecoms in particular, we're going to be looking to see how we deploy that, both in terms of our customer interactions, how we generate marketing messages, as well as also on the network side, how we use that to optimize the way in which we fault find on the network, restore services, as well as optimize capacity for different customer requirements. I think Gartner are estimating that by 2025, 30% of all outbound marketing messages will be from synthetically generated and created in large organizations, and that's up from around 2% today. So I think it's going to have a huge impact. The other big trend that I think that we're looking at is around is linked to the metaverse. Now, the metaverse has got many components to it, including buying property in the metaverse and avatars and things. But I think one of the interesting areas that I think really deserves looking at is the area of digital twins. That idea of building something in a physical that exists in a physical dimension and building that in a digital dimension. And I think the impact of that in terms of modeling all sorts of things, from factories, from manufacturing environments, but more particularly, I think the interesting part comes in when we start to model customer bases, when we start to model sets of customer and be able to test products on those customer sets. I think that's going to be incredibly interesting to look at. And then I think the other big opportunity is for sharing of data between companies. And I think this is an area that we're starting to dip our toe in the water of. But I think seeing companies sharing their data in a way in which obviously keeps privacy correct, or sort of complies with the privacy laws, but enables us to really collaborate in a very powerful way and to tap into broader areas of expertise. I think it's going to be one of the big things that's going to happen going forward. And I think we're going to see partnerships developing between people like telcos and banks, between telcos and retailers, in order to really create some very interesting value propositions for customers. So I think the biggest thing for me in terms of Africa Tech was the breadth of content that was available. There's so much content out there that I think one has to plan fairly carefully in advance how you want to engage on the different topics and the different subjects. I think in the last session, the developments in online and digital education were particularly interesting, as well as seeing the latest international technology developments from around the world in terms of 5G and fibre technology. And then I think one of the most interesting areas is how the technology comes together with the customers to really provide new business models, both for the mass market and for niche customers. And I think Africa Tech is a great place for people who have an idea of where they want to go and the kind of customer needs that they're looking to satisfy, to really connect with a lot of different people around how they can use the latest technology, how it can be applied to their particular situation, and most importantly, how it can be tailored to meet the specific needs of their customer segments. So I think any technology ecosystem is driven by mutually beneficial partnerships. And so Africa Tech provides a really important opportunity to learn about these new technologies, and to investigate new applications that are applicable. And you know, some of these may materialize and some of them not, but I think what makes Africa Tech interesting is the ability to start those conversations and to explore different ideas. I think there's nothing wrong with starting an idea and chatting to people and actually maybe learning quite quickly that based on previous experience there are certain pitfalls that one hadn't thought about. And the ability to test those with a very vast range of knowledgeable people in a short space of time is incredibly important. And so I think you know, as we develop, we always need to look at how we're currently doing things and just to decide which of those we need to let go of, which are ones we need to double down on in order to meet customer requirements and needs, and really understanding how we can create value for our customers based on the experiences from elsewhere in similar markets. And so I think the range of capabilities that Africa Tech brings together, bringing all these different components into a couple of halls in Cape Town, really helps to facilitate those conversations and enable people in a short space of time to really further their thinking and further their plans and decide how they best want to approach the following few months and year ahead. So I think really means a great deal to bring the entire ecosystem together and stress test thoughts and concepts in that environment.